Hi there and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the 3 steps that I took to turn Instagram from something that made me feel bad about myself into one of the best and most important tools in my eating disorder recovery. This video will be relevant to anyone who struggles with an eating disorder, body image issues, low self-esteem, etc. So do make sure you stick around. It also ends with a list of really high value accounts that have totally changed the way that I feel about my body and myself, so make sure you keep watching till the end. I've always loved Instagram as a place to hang out, make friends, build relationships, consume great content, just have fun, but it is undeniable that the platform creates lots of opportunities for comparison and that it can sometimes be difficult to tell, as we all know, what's real and what's fake. When I started my recovery journey, I realised that I was going to have to make some changes to the way that I use the app to be able to keep feeling happy and on top of things, otherwise I was going to have to get rid of it altogether. I don't know if you can relate to this, but sometimes seeing something on Instagram that makes me unhappy is the start of a bit of a sort of downward spiral for me. But on the flip side, once I'd done this work, done these 3 things and purged my Instagram account of the things that were making me feel bad, it became one of the most important tools for me in my recovery. So without further ado, here's my list of things. Get ready to totally change the way that Instagram makes you feel and the role that it plays in your life. Step 1 is to banish the diet ads. If you're anything like me, Instagram is showing you multiple times a day adverts about weight loss and dieting with really unhelpful and often unrealistic and irresponsible pictures of like before and afters, promises about how much weight you can lose and what your body will look like, and it's all bollocks and it's really unhealthy to be looking at it so many times a day, especially when you're trying really hard, you know, you're working on yourself and trying to get rid of those thoughts and feelings that you're not good enough. Luckily, there's been a recent development thanks to the wonderful Katie Budenberg, who you should definitely be following if you're not already. I'll put her information up here. She's been campaigning Instagram for a while now to make an option to stop seeing the diet ads in the same way that you can for alcohol or gambling or whatever. And it's worked! This is now a feature of the platform. So if you want to turn your diet ads off on Instagram, here is what you do. Open your Instagram app and go to your profile in the bottom right hand corner. Then select the little donut menu in the top right hand corner and go into your settings. Once you're in your settings, you want to click on ads, followed by add topics. And then you want to search add topics. Now when I click search add topics, body weight control automatically comes up at the bottom there. If that's not the case for you, then just start typing and it should show up. So then you select body weight control and toggle it from no preference to see less. And that's it. I imagine they say see less because they can't promise you that you're going to see none, but I haven't seen a single diet ad since I changed that setting. So definitely well worth doing. Once you've done that, you're well on your way to having cleansed your Instagram account of body negativity. Now it's on to step 2, which might be the hardest thing that I'm going to ask you to do today, but definitely the most worthwhile. Step 2 is basically going through your following list, so the list of the accounts that you're following on Instagram, and unfollowing, even if it's just temporarily, anyone whose account isn't making you feel good. You have to be really honest with yourself here because I don't know about you, but I used to get quite a lot of gratification from following accounts that were making me feel bad about myself, like they were serving a purpose for me in my eating disorder. It's quite hard to let go of, but it's really important that you do it. There are 2 ways to do this, a tough way and a soft way, and I'm really going to recommend that you do it the tough way, which is basically going into your Instagram account, onto your profile, clicking following, and then scrolling through. Make yourself a cup of tea. This is going to take a bit of time. Get comfy on the sofa. If you've got a furry friend, you're going to want them for company. And then just scroll through methodically. I'm not suggesting that you unfollow your friends or your mum or anything, but just like look at perhaps the influencers you're following, the pages you're following, even the brands that you're following. And if there's anyone whose content just isn't sparking joy, Marie Kondo it. Out the window. You can always follow them again. They're not disappearing anywhere. You're not losing anything. It's taking ownership of your home feed and making sure that it's a space that is good for you and happy and comfortable and constructive. If you're listening to me talking about this and it does sound too scary, or you've just got that like resistance feeling in your chest, that's okay. Take it the second way, which is the soft way, which, you know, if you can do the first way, do it the first way. The soft way is that just as you're scrolling through your home feed, as and when you see things, give them the boot. That might feel easier to you than like getting rid of lots of stuff that sometimes is quite like bound up in your sense of identity and your daily routine, checking people's stories, etc. If that feels too much for you, I totally get it. Try the soft way. But if you can, I really want you to go through your following list and do it the hard way, because it's gonna revolutionize the way that you exist on the app. And what we're going to do next is we're going to fill it with loads of amazing accounts to follow. So, you know, you're not going to have this empty void where the people you used to follow used to be. Now, if you've done that, you're amazing. Congratulations. How cool. Step 3 is the fun one, and that is following accounts that are going to make you feel good. These accounts are like guaranteed to make you feel good. I'm really excited to share them with you. I think you're going to love them, so get ready with that follow button. These accounts have made a big difference for me in terms of the way I think about my body and myself and where I fit and belong in the world. The thing is that we are constantly bombarded with images of what like a beautiful, acceptable body looks like, and they're all the same. In advertising, in TV, wherever we're looking, like we're seeing the same like type of body over and over again, and our brains get wired to think that that is the only acceptable way that a body can look, and that's not true. But what can happen when you start exposing yourself every day to pictures of people with all sorts of different types of body, looking happy and comfortable and taking ownership of their bodies? You can rewire your brain. It starts to change the way that you think about your own body, and it starts to give you a framework and a context in which you can feel comfortable about your body. And the trick here is also not just to follow people with bodies that look like your body, but to follow people with all different bodies, because that's how you really drill that message into your brain that like all bodies are good bodies, all bodies are okay, everybody is allowed to exist happily and comfortably in their body. So here's my list. First up is Sarah Landry, aka The Bird's Papaya. Sarah's account is just like warm soup for the soul. I really, really love it so much. Sarah talks a lot about what it's like to live in a changing body, recovering from an eating disorder, and as a bonus, her baby Lemmy is really, really, really sweet. Next up is Sophie Hagen. They're a really great comedian if you don't know them. They're Danish, living in the UK, and their comedy is hilarious, but they talk a lot about what it's like to exist in the world in a fat body. They've also got a book called Happy Fat, which I would totally recommend reading. The content itself is brilliant, and the comic delivery is just like a bonus. Sydney Bell is a dancer. She works with Lizzo. She is a fantastic and really talented dancer, needless to say. But she also makes really nice, really clever and really entertaining content about body confidence. Sophie Butler is a fitness influencer from London. Sophie talks a lot about what it's like going to the gym and existing in that gym world as somebody with a sort of a body that isn't your typical gym body. Sophie's a wheelchair user, so she talks a lot about sort of disabilities and access to like the world of sport and fitness, and she's just a very refreshing person to follow if you're used to like being on fitness Instagram and just seeing the same thing over and over again. Her account is not like that, and she is a breath of fresh air and brilliant. Megan Crabbe is sort of the OG body confidence influencer. She was on Instagram back in like 2014, 2015, wearing super colourful underwear and dancing in her bedroom, and it just took the internet by storm. She also has a really great book that's well worth reading. Her content is thoughtful but also really joyful and just like a bit of balm for the soul. Jessamine Stanley is a yoga teacher. I feel like yoga is definitely one of those places where we're so used to seeing the same body type over and over and over again, and Jessamine's account just completely blows that out of the water. It's just some beautiful imagery and a fresh take on yoga. Like, what more could you want? Joanna Kenny, the lovely Joanna Kenny, is a beautician, I believe. So she's always worked in the beauty industry, and her account is about what bodies really look like, not airbrushed with no pores, not shaving legs that are already shaven. She does talk a lot about body hair, body image. Also acne, if you're like me and you struggle with acne, her account is great for that. It's also sort of skin positive, like she's not going to show you unrealistic skin or airbrushed skin. It's all like super real, really refreshing and great. Give her a follow. Self Love Live, I'm going to give a special extra shout out to Self Love Live. She's the first person whose account I found where I saw myself reflected back at me. I thought, oh my god, her body looks like my body, and it was just a mind-blowing moment for me, having never seen a body like mine represented anywhere. It was a really big deal. I remember waking my partner up in the middle of the night and being like, look what I found! Look at this girl, her body looks like mine! Anyway, Liv kicks ass. She talks a lot about mental health as well, eating disorder recovery, bipolar disorder, also makes great like outfit and fashion content, and has a YouTube channel that you should check out too. And lastly, Isabella Davis. You should totally be following Isabella Davis. Her content is so joyful. She does a morning hype up every morning on her Instagram stories, and honestly, if you're somebody who wakes up and finds it hard to face the day, or finds it hard to like accept yourself as you go out into the world, follow her right now, because it will just carry you through the start of your day. She's my #1 hype person and I really adore her content, so definitely go and check her out. That's the end of my list, but I know there are loads more, so please, please, please share them in the comments, because I am still discovering people who just brighten my day. And let me know how you get on. Be brave with this, because I promise it will make a huge difference. At worst, you'll lose out on some average content from people that you didn't want to be following anyway, and at best it will totally rewire your brain. So do give it a go. Also, if you're just looking for some moments of levity or joy, this is my dog. She's also called Jess. Do check out the rest of our channel, because we've got lots of mental health videos on here, but also lots of joyful dog moments. You can find us on Instagram as well. She's Worried Whippet. I'm human.jess. We always love to hear from you, so do drop us a message and a comment if you enjoyed this video. Catch you soon. Bye.